Hey Spooky Boos, it's Meg from ByMegC. I figured I'd take a couple minutes and show you some of my process for creating some of my cross stitch patterns. As you can see, we're going to work on this cute little Nightcrawler together. I do have MaxStitch on my Mac, however, I don't really tend to use it. I think it's just because I don't fully understand it yet. So I usually gravitate more towards using Stitchfiddle, which is free online. However, I am a dork. I pay for the subscription. I love it so far. I wish the colors were more true to real life. However, that's also why I have all my color charts and stuff handy as well, so I can double check everything before I actually submit a pattern. So anyway, I just want to give you a heads up. Both my minions are in the house, so you might hear some background noise with them watching their YouTube videos or watching or playing PlayStation or whatever. And I apologize, my house is not the best. Isn't really that soundproofed, so you're also going to hear some traffic going off in the background too. As I have to have the window open. It's insane in here today. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get into creating this cute little Nightcrawler together. Alright, so we're on Stitchfiddle's main page and we're creating our own pattern. I use DMC thread, so I always make sure to select that. Grid size, I want to make this small, so we're just going to do 60 by 60. So as you can see, blank canvases come with predetermined colors. I don't want these, but by right-clicking on top of the floss colors, this chart pops up, and then you can choose which colors you actually do want to use. So I've already got a palette in mind. I pulled some of my threads, put them all side by side, and you know, they looked how I wanted them to look. Again, with Stitchfiddle, unfortunately, all these colors that are showing up, they don't look the same way in real life. Some of them not even close. So always make sure to have a color chart nearby, or pull your actual threads and use those for reference. Okay, so I did know in my mind that I wanted this to be stitched on black Aida or dark colored Aida. So what I'm doing, or what I just did, was I got rid of the 310 black color symbol that will pop up, because otherwise when I convert this pattern into all the different versions, you know, color or colors and symbols or just symbols only, you would see a million symbols for the 310 all over the Aida. So I didn't want that. So I didn't really have anything to go off of for this pattern. Sometimes I'll pull up a reference picture and I'll have that sitting off to the side in an open window, or I'll have my phone out with a photo that I want to use, but this was just kind of like, no, I'm just going to sketch away in Stitchfiddle and figure this out, see what looks cute. So that's also why I'm clicking so slow, because I had an idea, but you know, trying to get your idea out onto your design is always something else, right? Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. So next step is right click, and then I can fill this entire section in with the color that I'm using, or any other color that I choose. Obviously we have to have some cute little derpy eyes. And now I'm just going in and just kind of trying to shade my little buddy here, so he looks a little more realistic. Well, not really realistic, but more, you know, just rounded as a piece. So when I'm doing this shading, I'm trying to use the lightest color first. So I'll use light, and then I'll get into darker colors on top. So that's why there's so much being covered in this lighter gray. I don't know if that makes sense. And you know, as you're working in Stitchfiddle, always try and like zoom out so that you can look at your piece from a bit of a distance, just to make sure it's actually looking like how you envisioned it in your mind. And so far so good. So here I am adding in some darker gray on top of the lighter gray. Oh, I'm so indecisive. I envy people who are just like, boom, I'm just gonna go right into this and this is where this is going and haha, it's beautiful. Nope, not me. So now I'm gonna go to my third shade of gray and just kind of add that in again, just to keep giving this guy even more dimension. More dimension of cuteness. Alright, so pretty happy with how that's looking. Gonna zoom out again, you know, just to double check. And as I do, I have to make this guy, you know, a little more mystical, or give just a bit of an effect too. So I'm just kind of randomly placing in some of the colors that I used. I don't know if this looks more like a pixelated effect or if this is like, oh, kind of watercolory. I don't know. I just like how it looks. Talk about a pain to actually stitch out though. Alright, so now I'm just going to move this guy more into the center of the canvas because I do have a plan to add some more to this. I'm not sure if this is available in the free version of Stitchfiddle, but you can select certain pieces and then move them around. It didn't look good, so I had to, you know, just move it over just that one more bump. But now as I'm editing this video, I'm realizing, no, that's not really center anyway, so what was the point, Meg? Oh well, anyway, so this is me trying to decide how to best get into the border design that I want to do. Wasting time instead of just, you know, getting in there and clicking. Come on, Meg, have some more confidence. Here I am being hesitant again. I know what I wanted it to look like. It's just, you know, the curse of being an artist. So again, I kind of had an idea of how I wanted this to look like, and then originally I wanted it to be an oval to go around this entire little cutie. But this is where you can kind of see I have an aha moment where I'm like, I don't really like where it's going as an oval. But this program's so easy, that's fine. You know, with just a couple clicks, you can erase what you've done and then just modify it. So see, again, I don't really like that. And boom, another border idea was born. Here's me checking it out, you know, just making sure, is this really the direction I want to go in? And then finally just deciding, yes, this is, so let's do it. So goodbye oval and hello kind of, what are these called, like terrariums? I mean, I guess it could also be like kind of a snow globe. Well, it's not really a globe though. So I'm just trying to match out with the other side. I love doing smaller stuff like this because it is easier to mimic what you're doing on the other side. Okay, maybe I didn't mean mimic, maybe I meant mirror, but anyway. So yeah, now that I've successfully mirrored the other from the other side, I'm gonna add in some more confetti here, just because, you know, it needed something. And you know what, this project is going to be small, so, you know, having some random confetti all over the place is not going to be too much of a pain. Not like if, I don't know if you've seen my watercolor Death's Head moth in my shop. That one is a pain. I've stitched it out a couple times now, and each time it's just like, oh my god, why? But it really does come out looking so cool. It's just, unfortunately, I'm a terrible photographer. That's why I always use digital renderings for my Etsy shop, because when you see it in real life, it doesn't do it justice through my photographing skills. Alright, so I've now am using the backstitching tool. It's pretty cool. It's a little annoying to use in Stitchfiddle because if you accidentally click on one of the stitches that you already made, the stitch will disappear, and then you have to redo it all again. It's really a pain if you're doing like spider webs. This is me trying to give the illusion that, you know, there's some light on the left hand side of the pattern, and then plus backstitching just looks cool. I try not to add too much backstitching to my projects because I mean, well, A, a lot of my projects are really big, and B, I know backstitching can be a pain. Not everyone understands how to do it. And I'm just having a look at this again, just making sure it's how I want it to look. So far, so good. And it just needed something else. So I looked at my color chart again. Do I want this one? No, I don't. No, that's not the color that I want to go for. It doesn't look right in real life. Okay, so we're going to choose this one here and then add just a little bit of a patch of grass, just to give this a little bit of depth. But I didn't want to add too much. I also wanted this to kind of look like it was all confetti, just kind of, you know, there but not there. You know, just watching as I edit this now, I kind of wish I went back in and added some, maybe a bit of lighter green as well. But, you know what, maybe not. No, I still like this, how this looks. So I'm just double checking this again, making sure it's how, or making sure I'm happy with it, and I'm not. Here we go, adding in some more fun confetti, haha. Just trying to make it cute and appealing, you know? It is so important to always zoom out from your work, just to have a look from farther away, because if I hadn't have done it towards the end here, I probably wouldn't have added in all these little stars and other pieces of confetti. And then it kind of would have just looked bleh. I mean, still cute, but bleh. Sorry, I can hear my son in the background. Well, I mean, it's been non-stop traffic ever since I started filming. So here I am now. I am just getting rid of unneeded areas in my pattern. Whenever I release a pattern, I always try and have it so that it's cropped right up to the actual stitches, so I can give you the most accurate information when I'm giving you the stitch count. I'm sorry, the stitch area size. Okay, and this looks pretty decent to me. This is kind of, it wasn't originally what I was going for, but I am in love with the final design. So I'm going to name him Philip. He will be available as a download on my group in Facebook. My Facebook group can be found if you go to facebook.com/group/ByMegC. You will have to request to become a part of the group, but I usually get on that pretty fast. I try and release a free pattern at least every month. I'm currently in the works for making up our own little stitch along, and I release patterns pretty frequently, and I tend to announce that on both my group, sometimes my page. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, and I just kind of got into Tumblr. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm sure you can kind of tell. But anyway, please leave some comments down below, like and subscribe. Thanks so much for hanging with me for this video. Bye, Spooky Boos.